And welcome to Health Tip Tuesday. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some other places that mold might be lurking or hiding in your life. As I've mentioned before, mold can be very sneaky. We learned that it can be in our homes if we've had flooding or if we've had leaks, if we live in high humid areas near lakes or ponds. Those are all areas that we've kind of learned, oh, that translates that we could have mold in our homes. And mold is all over this planet. We cohabitate with it, and usually as long as it's in nature, it's a perfectly wonderful thing to have as a part of our environment. It's when it gets in our homes, behind our walls, and there's nothing else to keep it in check, and it grows and grows and grows and becomes a challenge for our health. That's when it becomes a problem. But it can also be hidden in our food, in places like flours and grains and fruits and vegetables. And when we are in a battle to get the mold out of our system, the last thing we want to do is start eating moldy foods and putting them back in our bodies. So I would encourage you, when you do go to the grocery store, whenever you can, to check and take an extra minute just to check the foods that you're purchasing, especially fruits and vegetables, berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, just to pop open the box and make sure that there's not already mold growing in there. Okay, and when you get it home, you can put it in water in a closed up jar in the refrigerator, and that will help prevent any mold from growing. Another thing you can check is when you get home with your flours and your grains, you just want to, before you just take a big scoop and cook it, just give it an extra second and check and make sure that you don't see any mold growing in there. I'm a member of a Facebook group on mold, and there was a lady who bought all these pounds of flour, and she got them home and she was ripping them open, and there was just mold all inside. And I just thought to myself, I don't know that I would have double checked that if I hadn't seen that. So it's an important thing to remember. Now, the second thing I'm going to encourage you is, if you drink water out of your refrigerator, when you push the button on the refrigerator and it's water and it pours water in your cup from the ice maker and the freezer section, yeah, you want to be super careful with that. I would have that hose checked regularly, like every month, to make sure there's no mold growing in it. Those tubes are known for harvesting and growing mold. So it would be even better if you could give up that water source and get a clean water source, like use maybe a Berkey water filter or a filter on your sink. Just trying to make sure that your water is clean and doesn't have mold in it is very important. Once you have clean water, especially if you're living in an environment there still might be mold there, just be sure to put a lid on that water so that any spores that are floating around in your environment aren't floating down in your cup and you're not drinking them. Okay? All right, then the third tip today is to check your supplements. This one just drives me crazy. To think that I'm ordering a supplement to help get mold or help my body deal with mold, and that it could have mold in it. Ooh, that's horrible. So just, call the companies that you're ordering from, ask them if they're third-party tested for mold. I know that Young Living and Nature Sunshine, those are two product lines that I have used, and I know that they do their due diligence to check and make sure there's not mold in their products. There have been some others that I have used and recommended in the past, but they got bought out by other companies, and I didn't know for sure that they were doing their due diligence to check for those things. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But once you do get any of your food home from the grocery store, from if you pick it in your garden, just make sure you're keeping it in places that are not high humidity levels. If you can keep them in cool, dry places in your refrigerator, in glass containers with lids. If you're not going to eat the food for a while, put it in the freezer. That will stop mold spores from growing so quickly. But that's just a few tips for you for Health Tip Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed them. You're welcome to check back here for more great tips. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, and I would love it if you came and visited my website, life.com. I have a health blog there, and I share a lot of great tips there as well. All right, have a great Tuesday, guys. Love you. See you soon. Bye.